Okay, so I am so happy and proud and honored to introduce my guest, Mary Bryant with the Real Mooney Grove Project. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We're just gonna, because I know there are viewers out there that know what it is, but there's probably going to be a lot of people that don't. So maybe to give a little background into, well, you know, who you are or how you got started or well, however, just to give it a basic understanding, so for people that don't know what it is.
Okay. I myself was born and raised in Visalia, and Mooney Grove Park is a county park in Visalia. It's 150 acres. It turned 100 years old in 2009. And when I was a kid, we used to have a lot more stuff there. It was kind of like a little mini Disneyland. We had a zoo, we had mechanical rides, we had rowboats, all kinds of stuff. And when I came back in 2005, I hadn't really seen the park much, but when I went out in 2014 and looked at the park, I was just absolutely devastated, heartbroken, what had happened to our beautiful park. So I knew that if I felt that way, there would be other people that felt that way too. So the question was, you know, why and what can we do to bring it back? So I have yet to meet anyone who does not want Mooney Grove restored. We all have wonderful stories of going to Mooney Grove. When we were kids, the Mooney family, Mr. Mooney, what he wanted for the park, and so something went wrong somewhere, so our goal is to bring back the park. So I started a nonprofit organization, 2014, the Real Mooney Grove Project, okay, because I knew that other people knew that they wanted it back too, wanted the rowboats back. So I have 2,500 members in that group, and I have another 2,000 members on the Real Mooney Grove Project Memories Old and New on Facebook, which is all the pictures of all the great rides and all the things we used to have and the statues and everything. So you can find me on Facebook.
And of course, you know, I moved to Visalia. I'm from Southern California, and I moved to Visalia in '02. So obviously, I don't know that history, but I'd heard about it. And of course, I'm a member of or part of the group on Facebook. From what I understand, it is a historical monument, I guess, for lack of a better word, or historical place. And so I could really see, I mean, what you're doing is a very honorable thing to want to restore it and bring it back, and especially to get to the bottom of why monies haven't been spent to fix it like they should have been.
Right, and a lot of it goes back to what the original intent for Mooney Grove was, and that was from Mr. Mooney and the Mooney family. It was to be an oak grove sanctuary for the oak trees. Okay, City of Visalia has very strict ordinances on cutting down an oak tree, and it was mainly to preserve the oak trees. It was to have picnicking, and that's what we want to bring back. Somewhere along the line, something got lost, and it's really what Mr. Mooney wanted for his property.
And I can totally attest to that about you said the strict ordinance for oak trees. You know, I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. Actually, so are you, Mary. And there are, you know, houses or people that own houses that there's an oak tree that's causing damage, and it really is difficult to cut down an oak tree because it is preserved by the Visalia City Ordinance. And so that says a lot too with the Mooney Grove Park, that it has the oak trees. But is it inside the park, though? Is that governed by Visalia, the city, or the county, or how does that work?
The county owns Mooney Grove Park, but outside of Mooney Grove Park, everything is City of Visalia. So our question has been, why, if everything around Mooney Grove has strict oak tree ordinances around Mooney Grove, then why does Mooney Grove not have to follow that also? Why are healthy oak trees being chopped down? Because that wasn't the intent of Mr. Mooney, for one thing, and that's what we want with our park. So I'm also starting a oak tree growing campaign coming up here in October, which is when you get the oak tree acorns from the tree and you can start them at home. And we want to get involved the kids at schools, and they can get the acorn, plant their tree. We can take it out to Mooney Grove or one of the other county parks and plant it, and they can watch their oak tree grow for the next 100 years or so.
Wow, that's
maybe with
great.
a commemorative plaque, yes.
And so you said that the intent of the Mooney family, or Mr. Mooney, was to have the park as a oak tree preservation. And so despite the fact that it's not actually governed by the city of Visalia, that was the intent, correct?
Well, it was actually given to the county, so it's a county-owned park.
Okay.
So it is run by the county.
Right.
So, but everything around Mooney Grove is the city, around the outside.
I guess
So-
what I was trying to say was that it's still the intent, it was still the intent of it when it was given to the county. So
Yes.
it goes along with what the city of Visalia wants in terms of the oak tree preservation.
Right, right. And the original intent for Mooney Grove was an oak tree sanctuary and for picnicking.
Okay.
So that's what we kind of want to bring back.
And so you were saying something about, so they've been chopping down trees. How did that all come about?
Well, I have a lot of people that tell me what's going on. I don't live near the park, so but there's a mobile home park there. It's right next door. We get pictures of healthy trees being cut down. They're not even damaged. So our thing has been, why are you allowed to get away with cutting down oak trees when everything outside of the park is not? So what we're doing is we have a new supervisor, Amy Shucklian, who is going to be taking over District 3 for Mooney Grove Park in January. So, and she knows how Mooney Grove looked at one time also. So now we have some hope that we're going to be bringing the park back. There's some issues that need to be resolved before we can bring back anything like any rides or anything, and that would be get the water and the well issues resolved. Better maintenance, new management would help. And just go in and just repair what's there, just general maintenance. The county came out with a 20-year plan that we opposed back in 2015, I think. We opposed the 20-year plan. It has nothing to do with the maintenance of Mooney Grove now. It's wanting to make the outer edges a parking lot and the inside a picnic area. And I told the supervisors, I don't know about you, but I don't want to stick around for 20 years to see what's going to be going on. And we need maintenance now. We need maintenance now. We need better maintenance now of the park. So there's water issues because of the drought. But a lot of this started a long time before the drought. Okay, there were issues going on with Mooney Grove before the drought. So.
And so has there been like grant money allocated to it that wasn't used, or why hasn't it been I want to say refurbished, that's not the word, but rehabilitated or whatever?
Right, right. I went in with my board of directors for the Real Mooney Grove project. I am president and CEO. Went in with my secretary and some other people that know their job. And requested 16 years of public documents, okay? We went in and found out some possibly shady things going on. We believe that they are getting grant money for Mooney Grove. I don't believe it's being used for Mooney Grove. What we do know for a fact is any money donated for Mooney Grove, park entrance fees, if you rent an arbor, anything like that, goes into a county general fund. So literally everybody that works for the county gets paid first. Mooney Grove never sees that money. So.
Oh, and that's totally, I mean, that's misleading, because if somebody goes in there thinking, oh, I'm giving money so that the Mooney Grove Park will be
makes
rehabilitated.
Donations, yes.
Right, or donations even so. Wow.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you and your organization is there like a watchdog or whatever, for lack of a better word, or just activists to be able to,
right,
to
and
work
to me
on
that's
this.
common sense. If you're asked for a donation for Mooney Grove Park and you give a donation for Mooney Grove Park, and I don't care if it's $1 or it's $1,000, you want that money to stay for Mooney Grove, but it doesn't. It goes into a county general fund.
And so what is being done? I mean, I know you said Amy is taking over in January. So are you pretty much at a standstill now, or are there things that are being done in terms of being able to start putting those changes into effect so that the money does go to the rehabilitation?
Right. Well, I don't believe we were going to get anything done until we got a new supervisor in. And
Makes sense.
Amy came and talked to us, my group, last summer, and she had said, you know, all she can say is that she will try as best she can to get stuff done, and until she gets in and actually takes over as supervisor to find out what was going on or anything. And I said, you know, Amy, that's all we can ask. That's all we can ask. But we trust Amy. She's been a member of my group for a long time. She's been on city council for Visalia, held a lot of positions with the city. So we feel that if anybody's going to get it done, it's going to be Amy. So,
Right.
so that's why we're going to be having an event coming up, October the 22nd, a fall event called Magical Mooney Grove. And it's going to be at the 4K Bar Ranch, and we're going to have live entertainment and food, and we're going to have a special screening of Walt Disney's So Dear to My Heart film that he filmed out at Mooney Grove, and that's our carousel, which now sits in downtown Hanford. So his film was filmed all over Tulare County, actually, Porterville, Mooney Grove. So I'm going to have a special screening of it that night, too.
Oh, wow, that's great. And so if people want to get tickets, what do they need to do?
Well, I'm going to be announcing some stuff later on. It may be more of a donation type thing.
Okay.
But I'm going to have beer and live entertainment and food and all kinds of stuff for the kids to do. So it may not be tickets, it's going to be donation, I think, would be better.
And so, and that's October 22nd, you said? Like,
Yes.
What time and where is it?
It's going to be out at the 4K Bar Ranch, which is the old Riata Ranch, out towards Exeter. Okay. It's going to be probably from like noon till maybe midnight.
And if people want to find out about it, because people who are not from the area, or, you know, like maybe people in Fresno County or whatever, do they go on Facebook, or how would they find out?
You can go on Facebook. You can friend request me, Mary Bryant, or you can friend request the Real Mooney Grove Project. I also have the Real Mooney Grove Project Memories Old and New, which is all the pictures. And I also have an Exeter and Farmersville edition, and I have an Hanford and Lemoore edition they can join too. Okay?
Okay, and what about somebody like, let's say, in Fresno County that was interested or something like that? They could just still join, right?
Right. I have a lot of people in Fresno. Surprisingly,
Okay.
a lot of people in Fresno. Yeah, just friend request me or the group.
Oh,
Okay.
and I don't mean just Fresno. I mean, you know, people in the outlying area. I mean, maybe even somebody from Southern California who's been here and really likes it, or you know what I'm saying?
I have members that were born and raised in Visalia, but they live now elsewhere across the United States, and they are members too.
Okay.
So I do get messages from them saying they're sorry, they wish they could be here, and I say, you know, we are here in spirit, and we need you to encourage us and keep us going, and you can still write a letter to those supervisors, and make phone calls, and still do stuff for us, even though you don't live here. So
Now, what about in terms of on a bigger level? I mean, should they call their congressperson or their assembly person or the attorney, you know, California Attorney General's office or anything? I mean, is there anything they can do if they wanted to get involved in that way? Or
Right. You could contact Amy Sheklian, for one. You can always call the supervisor's office, send them emails, because in Visalia we have 5 different districts, but all of the supervisors do have a say over what happens at Mooney Grove. So Amy is in that district. She has Mooney Grove, but the other supervisors make decisions too.
Okay.
So you can contact Assemblyman, which is Devin Mathis. You can contact people at Mooney Grove, at the county, Tulare County, and tell them that what's going on at Mooney Grove, that you want to see the rowboats back and you want to see better maintenance for Mooney Grove.
and then maybe also too, if they want, you know, assurance that when they donate money, that it is going for Mooney Grove and not, like you said, a general account.
Right. We have asked before for a restricted, what's called a restricted account, which means all the money that is donated for Mooney Grove and all the money that is spent for arbors, rentals, and that kind of thing stay at Mooney Grove. And we just kind of got the big runaround at the time, so we're going to take that back up with Amy, maybe take that up again with the county here shortly. Because I usually don't have events at Mooney Grove because I do not want to pay for the fees that go into a county general fund.
Right.
Mooney Grove never sees that money.
Right.
So what started out actually as a campaign for Mooney Grove has now turned into a campaign for all Tulare County parks. We have Cutler Park is a mess. We have Bulge Park. So it's to revitalize all the county parks now. So but Mooney Grove is the largest, it's the most used, and it's the most costly to maintain.
Right. And then it's the most historical, right? I mean, it's
Right.
the oldest one, correct?
Right, it is. Yeah, it goes back to the early 1900s.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself is like, that is reason enough to want to, you know, preserve it. That's
Mr.
history.
Mooney, yeah, Mr. Mooney opened a brewery on Main Street back in the day. So, and the Mooney family had several houses in Visalia. So they actually preserved the oak trees. Mr. Mooney bought the property from a Mr. Willis, and they all wanted to preserve the oak trees because back in the day, the thing was to cut them down and get the money for firewood and clear the land, and they all chose not to do that. So Mrs. Mooney owned the property for 25 years after Mr. Mooney passed, and she too did not cut down the oak trees. So it's been a series of owners that have wanted to preserve the oak trees. So, and that's what we want to do too, is bring back the oak trees and the peacocks we want to bring back.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And the peacocks, yeah. So there was a Canadian geese problem at the park. So we may have that under control. We may have some of them moved, but we want to bring back the peacocks too. Have a conservatory or have a little area where we can raise the peacocks and make sure they're protected and all numbered. So
So the peacocks now, because I know I've seen them before, do they hang out at the mobile home park, or do they?
There are some left over at the mobile home park. Some of the private ranches around Mooney Grove have contacted me saying they have them over at their house. And there's also been a problem with the homeless people because a peacock is actually considered of the pheasant group, and so they will kill them and eat them. But my goal is to have each peacock numbered inside the park. All animals are supposed to be protected anyway.
Right.
So I think the geese pretty much chase them off. So that's been a problem too.
Oh, okay.
So the geese don't know that they're not supposed to stay there once they hatch.
Really?
So, yeah, they're hatched there, and they don't know that they're supposed to migrate. See?
Oh, I see.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So back in the day, that's why we feel they've chased off the peacocks.
I
But there's
see.
still a few of them left.
Right. So it's a combination of problems that have caused the peacocks to diminish in numbers.
Right. So we all remember those peacocks.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, even like I said, I've been in Visalia since '02, and I remember the peacocks, just seeing them. I mean, again, it might have been because I've also gone down that road where the mobile home area is. So, but I know I've seen them like scattered about. So,
Right.
And being an animal lover, it's like, oh, I hate to hear of animals being destroyed, eaten, whatever that were there, and anyway.
And what my group also wanted to do is the original concession building that was there. They used to have a concession where you could buy snow cones and sodas or whatever. They also had a fortune teller. They had a pinball machine back in the day.
Wow, a fortune teller?
A live fortune teller. And they also had a little dance floor with like a jukebox.
Dance?
So,
I'd be in there. I like dancing.
so yeah, what we want to do is make Mooney Grove into a profitable, magical place like it used to be.
Right.
See, so we all want the rowboats back. We all want the maybe some of the mechanical rides. I know that we're going to probably start a campaign to get our carousel back from Hanford, which is what Walt Disney left for us when he made his film at Mooney Grove in 1946. So I think we want to get our carousel back too. So
what's the history of how it ended up there? If you wanted to share that.
the carousel?
Yeah.
Back in 1978, they had a man that came in and started selling off some of the assets because...
The assets of Mooney Grove?
The assets of Mooney Grove, because the mechanical rides weren't making as much money as they thought they should or something. So I don't know why he was allowed to. He was allowed to sell it off to... actually, he didn't sell it. It has been given to Hanford, City of Hanford, with the stipulation if they do not use it for the public, that it reverts back ownership to him.
Oh, I see.
So, right. So I have talked to Hanford about it before a couple of years ago. They seem to indicate that a carousel would bring in business, that we did discuss perhaps purchasing another one for them and taking ours back. So.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense because that's the original one. That's the historical
the one Disney
one.
made for us.
Right.
Yeah, that is not the original carousel. There's been actually two carousels.
Oh, okay.
So that's the second one, the one that Disney put
But the
there,
one is
so.
still it's Disney. I mean,
Right.
it's kind of like,
Right,
I love
right.
Disneyland.
That's
so.
the one we all remember.
Right.
Was the one with the colorful horses and stuff on it. Was Disney's.
Exactly.
So, and he left it for us, so we should have it back.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. It's historical, and I mean, it's neat because of the movie was filmed with it and
Right.
the whole thing, and yeah.
So that's why I'm going to be showing a special screening of So Dear to My Heart the night of my event, October 22nd, because it was filmed at Mooney Grove. The county fair scenes were filmed there.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Then they set up a little town called Fulton Corners out by Porterville, which is where a lot of it was filmed. And interestingly, there were 300 extras that were used at Mooney Grove for the county fair scenes, and they were dressed up in early 1900 clothing. And so were the ones out filmed near Porterville for the town scenes out there. So now we have behind Mooney Grove a section of the Santa Fe Railroad track that is haunted. And they
Wow.
have a phantom train that goes down the track, and it has, interestingly, people beside the tracks walking, and they're all dressed in early 1900s clothing.
Wow.
So I'm connecting the two, saying perhaps all these people were the Disney ones that made the film at Mooney Grove.
Wow.
From Mooney Grove. You're right. It's the same time period, the same dress, same everything.
Wow, that's fascinating. And so
Yeah.
people have seen them? They've actually
Yes,
spotted
it's
them?
a
Wow.
phantom train that actually
Wow.
they see going down the track with people in early 1900 garb walking beside it. So
Wow.
it's really interesting.
Because you also, that just reminded me, you also have a different Facebook as well, too, right? Something about... Is it?
The Memories Old and New? Oh, or is it Visalia Ghost Adventures?
Yeah, that one.
I have a group, yes, I'm the founder of a group, Visalia Ghost Adventures. So, and we're going to be going out on another ghost hunt in the fall. So, it may be probably the railroad tracks, which activity seems to be between 1 and 3 a.m. So, we'll wait and see. We had one planned, I think, 2 years ago, and that was the only night that it rained.
Oh, really?
It was an outdoor
We need rain,
ghost hunt.
but
It was the only night that it really rained. It was like a storm, so we didn't get to go out then.
maybe
So-
the ghosts didn't want to be seen. No, I'm just kidding.
So-
Who knows, right?
Right, who knows? So
But that's fascinating. Oh, that's fascinating. You just do so many different things, and I have to say, just being a Visalia resident, that I'm very grateful that you and your project are involved with the whole Mooney Grove project. So we have somebody, who's overlooking, trying to, restore it, and then also to make sure that the money's spent correctly, and all of that, so that that can be taken care of.
a lot of us have special memories about Mooney Grove that we want our generation, the next generations, to grow up with. We want our kids and our grandkids to have rowboats that they went out on, and the concession building, and the slide that went over the tree limb, and they had go-karts, and they had another boating
Wow.
ride. So we literally could go out there and get turned loose all day long. We used to be able to ride the rowboats at night. 10 o'clock at night, we would be on the rowboats. So we wanted to bring them back maybe a little bit for nighttime use too in the summer.
Wow, that sounds really neat. Sounds magical, actually.
There was supposed to have been an amphitheater built at the park in place by the year 2000, and that was never done. So if we had a venue where we could have entertainment, music in the park like we used to,
Oh, yeah.
bring back the amphitheater that was supposed to have been put in. We want to make Mooney Grove profitable again, because none of us go there anymore. We don't go there anymore for those reasons.
Right.
So bring back something to make, so it's making money again, and it goes into a only Mooney Grove fund.
That makes a lot of sense, definitely. And like I said, I'm so glad that you guys are there doing this and working on it. You're in charge of it, and you're the one that came up with it, and you're just a very amazing person. And I really,
Thank you.
I really appreciate that.
And I wanted to mention too, back in the day, Mooney Grove was known for its gardens and its
Oh,
flowers
wow.
and its shrubs, and it one time had like 5 acres that were nothing but bulbs.
Wow.
Right. So and
Sounds
back,
like a Victorian garden almost, or something.
exactly.
That's
And back
neat.
in the day, they had so much left over that they would give it away or sell it off. And one of the back in the 30s, the sheriff of the jail actually took a lot of the cuttings and stuff from Mooney Grove and planted them at the jail to spruce it up somewhat. So, and it's nothing like that anymore.
Right.
Nothing like that anymore.
And like you said, it goes beyond the drought. I mean, there was just mismanagement of funds or whatever, whatever be the whatever occurred. It's just the money has not, whatever the reason, the money has not gone to Mooney Grove like it's supposed to have gone.
And it hasn't been preserved like it was supposed to, because there were
Exactly.
vines and trees and everything on the inside, in addition to the oak trees that grew there naturally, and now they've all been ripped out and taken out, and we're wanting to bring that back the way it was supposed to be. It was originally an oak forest back in the day.
And if nothing else, I mean, I think it's just so devastating to hear a healthy tree being cut down in the park when that was the intent of Mr. Mooney, but even so, even to another level, talk about on a spiritual level. I mean, most people know or believe that trees are very spiritual, and it's just on so many different levels. It's just wrong. I mean, the fact that Visalia has the oak preservation mandate, I mean, that says a lot right there, and it's like that. I mean, it's very. It would be upsetting to me anyway, but it's upsetting being a Visalia resident to hear that.
And back in the day, every tree at Mooney Grove had to be numbered and had to be accounted for.
Wow.
See, so that's what we want to bring back too. Is why are they not numbered? Why are they not kept a look at? I believe they put someone in the position and trusted him, and somewhere along the line that got messed up. So this person's been destroying the park, literally. Won't let any of us come in to help and do anything. We offered to come in and fix everything, my group did, and we were turned down. So why would anyone in their right mind who has Mooney Grove's best interests at heart turn it down?
Right, doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
So is this somebody that's in a position, like a political position or a county position, or?
It's both. It's both. There's a county position and management of the park. Okay, the person to blame for mismanagement of the park would be the manager of County Parks and Rec. Okay, we just don't feel that he has the passion that we do for the park. He wasn't raised here, and that makes sense because everybody that I know says, "Oh, yes, I was born and raised there," or I know how the park used to look, and he's actually from Fresno area. So there was a man by the name of Merle Harp. He holds the record of 20 years of service to the county, who was the last person to really have, I feel, the passion for the park. Okay, he recommended that the zoo be improved. He recommended that the statues...
Wait, there was a zoo?
We used to have a zoo there, yes.
Wow.
We had a big monkey cage. We had Sam the sun bear.
Wow.
Right. We had some other big monkey cage there. We may not be able to bring the zoo back, but we may be able to have like a small roding park. But we all remember that. We all remember the zoo that was there at one time. And some interesting stories. And by the way, on my Facebook, I do post the history of the park all the time. So a lot of people don't know the history of the park. They don't know the dedication of a lot of people to keep it an oak grove, to keep it the way it was, to make it into a park. Who they hired and why they hired the people that they did to improve the park and to make the park what it was. So now when we look at it, it's like, what happened to the park after so many people for over 100 years have worked so hard, and it was their dream to make Mooney Grove what it was.
Right.
See? So we want to get it back to what Mr. Mooney intended and what we all remember for generations to come.
Yeah, definitely. That, like I said, it's a very honorable thing what you're doing with the project and everything, and on so many different levels, and then with the fundraiser. So I would urge everyone out there to get involved with the fundraiser or otherwise, if there's anything they can do to. So the best way would be to contact you on Facebook, right?
Right. I am looking for entertainment, food vendors. This is a fundraiser, so we will not be paying any of the acts or anything, but we can guarantee you exposure and advertising and other such things for that too. So we want all of the money to go to Mooney Grove. We feel that not enough money has gone for Mooney Grove already, so we're going to keep the cost down and hope the donations come in, because everybody wants Mooney Grove restored.
And when the donations come in, then I'm sure, since you're at the helm, you'll make sure that the money goes to that and not get somehow,
right,
fallen into the wrong account.
On my board of directors, I have a treasurer, and he has nothing to do with, I have nothing to do with the money. It's all the treasurer, and that will go into a Real Mooney Grove Project account. And I'm also having made up T-shirts and coffee mugs with my logo on it, which is designed by Amy Dickinson Campbell, a member of my group. She's actually my secretary on my board of directors, designed us a logo. It's going to go on hats and T-shirts and some decals for your car window. And any merchants that want to contribute, we have a decal that they can put on their window downtown or something to let them know that they support us and our members can support them too. So, and for my event, we're going to be having scholarships available. I mean, not scholarships.
I was going to say scholarships.
Sponsorships. So, and vendor booths. So I try not to get repeat businesses in my vendor booths. We're looking for entertainment for all different kinds of music. Maybe one country, one rock, another one alternative or whatever.
Oh, that would be great. So any local musicians out there who want to come in, or anybody, just like she said, it's free exposure for your band and your music. And I can think of a few local bands myself, so I'll be putting the feelers out there.
Right. So, okay, and I have the stage reserved from Sequoia Beverage Beverage Company, reserved for that night. So we're going to provide the stage, and they provide the instruments, and I guess I have to come up with a PA system or something. So.
Okay, so if there's anybody that wants to help out with that, right?
Right. We're going to have beer, and we're going to have food, and all kinds of stuff, some fun stuff for the kids to do too. So
sounds good. Is there anything else you wanted to add about the project or about the fundraiser or anything that's going on? I mean, I know sounds like exciting changes are going to happen in January when Amy takes over.
Right. I am going to be starting my oak tree campaign, I do have a member of my group who's going to be heading that up, and we'll be going over a plan. We'll be announcing that probably after August.
Okay.
We want to get the schools involved, maybe classrooms start an oak tree. September and October is when you gather the acorns from the oak trees to plant. And you can plant them at home very easily in your own pot, and then we will get permission to plant them either at Mooney Grove or at one of the other county parks, and maybe get a commemorative plaque for the kids or something, and then watch their tree grow. Watch their tree grow for the next 100 years or so.
So that would be another reason to contact Mary on Facebook. If you have a child or somebody, it doesn't have to be a child, anybody who wants to get involved. Yeah.
Grandkids, neighbor kids.
Or how about big kids like me?
Big kids like you too. Yes, yes. You can start an oak tree. They're very easily to grow starting at home, and then we will transplant them.
Okay. All right, that sounds great. So check out Mary and the Real Mooney Grove Project on Facebook. And any other closing words or?
I also have Visalia Ghost Adventures. We're going to be going out on a ghost hunt. There's a lot of places around Tulare County that are haunted. Hillman Clinic in Tulare, Mooney Grove I was mentioning, the old jail in Visalia. Cemeteries are also pretty good ones. So I have close to 500 members in that one. So we're going to be going on another ghost hunt in the fall.
So we'll definitely be checking that one out as well too. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I look forward to, like I said, I'm also a friend on that. As both of them, actually. A group member.
A group member, yes.
Yes, that's it. So the Facebook lingo or whatever. But anyway, so, okay, that sounds great. Thanks again. I really appreciate you being here and for everything that you do on the organization.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then if my next guest shows up, we'll get into that, and if not, there'll be another segment or something. Okay, thank you so much for joining us.